Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Excited to be rolling into my second year here now, a little bit ahead of the curve rather than kind of playing catch up all year. So it's been fun. We recruited a very large class coming in here, a lot of new faces from our team, and then even a little bit of our coaching staff too. So I think we really put in place a group of men and women that can help us here in the current moment this year, but just as importantly into the future. We've been very careful about how we recruited, the type of people. Obviously, we want people that can perform at a very high level, but we also want to have people in our program that align with the values of our culture internally in the cross country program, but then also as a university as a whole. So yeah, we're very fortunate to have a great group of men and women coming in and some new coaches coming in that I really think are going to elevate our program.
Obviously found some success first season. When you think about just building a program and the foundation you wanted to lay that first season, what do you feel like you accomplished in that area, and where do you want to build off of that this season?
Yeah, that was an upset victory last year for sure. We had to bring in quite a bit of transfers to have a bit of an immediate impact, and we were very fortunate to find some that were gamers, to say the least. It was the first time we'd won the South region in I don't know how many years, 25 plus. It was our first time in the top 3 at SECs in 25 plus years on the men's side last year. All that being said, we lose one big hitter from there, Dylan, and then we lose Carl, who has been a veteran for the program for a long time. But I think what we lose on the top end, we've replaced in depth. And I still think there's a lot to be found out about some of our new transfers that we have coming in. We did a really good job of recruiting a group of transfers that come in and help immediately, but then also freshmen that some of them might sneak up and put themselves into the top 7. So yeah, it'll be certainly hard to live up to maybe the shock factor of how quickly we rose, but I think we're going to continue to take another step forward in terms of stats and performance this year at the national meet and at the conference meet.
After a successful 10 years at Notre Dame, what was it about Tennessee that pulled you away with a program that didn't see as much success as Notre Dame had?
Yeah, that's a good question. Certainly one I've heard a lot in recruiting. I think it starts from the top, right? Danny's vision of the athletic department and how they take care of every sport here, and they take it very serious. The goal here is to win championships. You don't take this job if that's kind of not your expectation. But having the expectation of winning championships, but then having the support and the follow through from an administration is very rare. And we're very fortunate that, I can tell you a year in, 12 months into the job now, everything has been exactly as advertised, in terms of giving us the support and resources to care for our kids and make sure that they're going to develop here. So it starts from that. And then I enjoy building programs, and this has been a really cool opportunity to start what I feel like a program from scratch. And then we have a unique model here at Tennessee of track and cross country that doesn't exist anywhere else. Where Dwayne and I both have director roles, but then we collaborate in trying to find a way to win a national title in 3 seasons, and that is, very rare in our sport. And so it was a very unique opportunity to be competitive, not just in one season, but in all 3: track, indoor, outdoor, and cross country. And I've just been excited about it, and we know that we're already kind of have a lot of the things in place to start doing that.
You mentioned this class of newcomers, whether it be freshmen or transfers, and I was just wondering what specifically you're expecting from this class, both short term and then moving forward throughout their entire Tennessee careers.
Yeah. We've brought in, from the transfer side, I think we're going to see a little bit more immediate impact. Kids, we have a good group, some kids that finished pretty high at other Power 5 conferences in cross country that are going to have an immediate impact here. And then there's, the freshmen, it's more of a long-term focus. If some of them come in and have an immediate impact this year, that's great. But, in the world of transfer market and immediate gratification, yes, that is a necessary piece, but to build a sustainable program, you have to develop kids. You have to take your time with them. You have to develop relationships with them. And that takes time, and that's what we're going to always have as the background of our program and the backbone of our program is making sure we're, helping guide these young men and women over their 4 or 5 year journey here and making them, men of Tennessee and women of Tennessee. And so the transfer market will always be a part of it, but that's like the sprinkle on the top of the cake. It's not the whole cake. And so, we're focused on long-term development here.
For you as a coach, what are some of the biggest differences or changes from your first year last year at Tennessee to now coming into year 2?
Yeah. Last year, at this time, I was scrambling to build a team still. We had, I think, guys literally visiting campus to start, in a week kind of situation. So, and we're a little bit ahead of the ball now. We've had time to get a relationship with the men and women all summer, all of last year. And I think, that's an important part of it. X's and O's of coaching certainly matter. But the relationship piece and showing kids that you love them and that you care about them, there's a massive performance benefit there. And, we want to, be there for them. And I've had an opportunity to get to know these kids and have a relationship with them. And I think that that's going to pay dividends over the course of the year.
On the women's side of the team, you signed a real strong class that will kind of help set the foundation moving forward to maybe get the Lady Vols to maybe match the production you're seeing on the men's side of it. How are you hoping that they'll be able to take the next step this season? Yeah,
that's a good one. So it's been 33 years since our men won an SEC title. We think that's realistic. It's been 18 years since our men and women made the national meet. That's one of our primary focuses. I think both our men and women can, be in a position to compete to make the national meet, meaning top 32 in the country. I think that's very realistic this year to have our women start matching kind of the immediate impact we had on the men's side a year ago. And the last time our women were top 3 at SECs was 14 years ago. So all of those things are very realistic. And I think it's pretty cool to start doing stuff that hasn't happened in a decade, in year 2 with not just one gender, but 2. I'm very excited about our women. We have a lot of unknowns still, but the nice thing is we have an immense amount of depth, and we know some of those women are going to step up.
Yassine Abdallah was one of the premier performers on the men's side last year, and I was wondering here in his second year with the program how he's developed maybe not just as a runner but as a leader, and if you could speak to that.
Yeah. Yassine last year had a lot of travel. He was finishing some degrees at other places while still being enrolled here and competing, and he was all over the place. And so him just being here permanently all fall is going to really help. And just he's been in our system for a year. And I think there's going to be a lot of just physiological benefit that happens over the course of a year of being in the same system. But then as a leader, I think he's really starting to grow into his own. I know a lot of the freshmen already look up to him. They already follow him on YouTube and all that other stuff. He's a big personality, but he's an incredibly hard worker. If there's something that Yassine can do to become better, he will do it. Regardless of how much time and effort that takes. And that's, that's pretty rare and pretty cool to have as one of the leaders on your team. And I expect him to not just take a step, in terms of performance, but in terms of helping make our entire roster better, as a leader. So, yeah, I'm excited about that.